everyone. I'm here with Nicholas.
Hello.
And we are going to talk to you about insects. So does anybody know what the word entomology means? It's a big word. Can you all say entomology?
Entomology.
Entomology. And that means the study of insects. When I was in college, my very first semester in college, I took a class on insects for fun. I ended up falling in love with the subject. And so I ended up taking a lot of courses in college and thought about making it a career, but decided to go an environmental route instead. And here I am teaching you guys. But we're going to start with a little book here, and Nick is going to start reading it for us.
All about insects.
You see all these different types of insects, guys? All right.
How do you know if an animal is an insect? Just count the legs. All insects have 6 legs.
Okay, can we see this, guys? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one is about spiders, Nick.
A fun fact about spiders are they are not insects because they have 8 legs.
You see that? Can you guys count? Can you guys count the legs? Go ahead and count at home. How many legs does that spider have? I see 8. That's right. And guess what? Spiders have 2 body parts too, whereas insects have 3 body parts: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. And I talk about that in another video you can check out. But a spider only has 2, so its head and thorax are combined, and then they have their abdomen. So they are definitely not insects. All right, so our next thing is all insects have 3 body parts. They have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen, which I just covered. You can see that right there. And I go into more detail in another video. And then this says here, the exoskeleton is the hard covering on the insect to protect it. Do you guys see? There we go. All right, so this is a beetle, and it has a really hard shell on the outside of it, and that's basically the beetle's bones, because they don't have bones on the inside of their body like we do. They have a hard covering that protects all of their soft insides.
And you went into more detail on another video.
I did?
On that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did. All right. You ready? You want to do this one?
Insects have 2 antennas. They use them for feeling, tasting, and hearing. A fun fact is some can smell with their antennas.
I can. Let's see. So we have a grasshopper here, and here are his antenna. They're all up high, and then here's a butterfly, actually looks like a male monarch butterfly, and he has antenna right there. And what was another fun fact about butterflies, Nick? Do you remember?
Butterflies, I think, smell with their feet.
They can taste.
Taste.
That's right. They can taste with their feet. Can you believe it? So it lands on the flower, and then it can taste with their feet. And let's see. We're going to go sideways a little bit on this guy. So I have a butterfly here, and I have a moth here. They look pretty similar, don't they? What do you think, Nick? Do they look pretty similar?
Yes.
Do you know what the differences are between a butterfly and a moth?
Butterflies' wings are closed when they rest, and moths keep their wings open when they rest.
That is correct. That is a fun fact about them. So a moth, when it lands, it keeps its wings flat like this. When a butterfly lands, it folds its wings back behind it, like that. So, and then also, let's see, we have colors. There's a difference in colors between them. You see the moth is kind of dull, and the butterfly is nice and bright, and it's got lots of different colors in it. And then another thing we were just talking about is the antenna. See, the butterfly's antenna are thin, and a moth's antenna is hard to see in this picture, but they're bushier. They're bushier up top. And moths are out at night, so they're nocturnal. That's another big word that you guys have learned in the past. And butterflies are out during the day. Anybody remember what they're called when they're out during the day? Do you know what that is, Nick?
No.
No? It's called diurnal. All right, let's move on. So we have some insects have wings that they use to find food and escape from predators. Check that out. Who knows what this insect is? It's a ladybug. These are its forewings, or the wings that are on top, and they're part of the exoskeleton, and they're hard, and it protects the soft wings underneath. Did you know that vast majority of insects have wings? And insects were the very first creatures that were capable of flying, and that happened back before the dinosaurs, so a long time ago. So insects have been flying for a long time.
Yes.
So, and there are more insects on Earth than any other creature out there. Way more. They make up most of the creatures on Earth. All right, ready?
Some insects live together in colonies like bees and ants. Some form swarms by coming together to eat or find a new home like
Locusts.
locusts.
All right, so we have bees here in their honey hive, and these are their honeycomb here, and then this is an ant. These are all kinds of ants in their colony. All right, and then next we have what? What did I forget?
The bee and ants.
The bee and the ant. Oh, well, oh yeah, here we go. Here's the bee and the ant. So here's the ant up close. And here's the bee up close. And then another video I told you guys that they actually are from the same family of insects. If you look at them, they do look kind of similar, but if I had a picture of a wasp, you'd get a better idea of it. But they have similar body types. If you look at their abdomen here, they kind of have a similar shape abdomen. And this bee's kind of fuzzy, so it's hard to tell, but he's got a similar thorax and shape to the head. But the bee's fuzzy and the ant's not. All right. So next we have, do you see the leaf bug? Can you guys check that out? Do you see the leaf bug in there?
I do.
You do? It looks just like a leaf, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it's right here.
It's right there. Insects use camouflage to look like their environment so they can hide from predators. So this leaf bug is trying to hide. Do you think you could spot him in a game of hide and seek? I think it would be pretty tough.
Yes,
Yes.
it would.
So that's how he has adapted. That is another big word I've taught you guys before. He's adapted, or he's been able to modify his body or the way he lives to live in the environment. And let's see, we have, oh yes, here we go. Nick's pointing it out. Here's another example of a leaf bug. That's pretty crazy looking, right? Now that looks like a leaf, but it's a bug. It's an insect. And then we have other animal, or other, well, I guess insects are animals, but here we go. This is called a walking stick.
It looks just like a twig, but it's...
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, just
alive.
like a twig. But it's got long, thin antennae, a really long, skinny body and skinny legs. I bet if you saw that out on a bush or a tree, you'd almost not even recognize it. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we got here. This is a praying mantis. You see his big front legs? He's got big front legs, whereas a grasshopper has got big back legs. So a grasshopper has adapted to be able to jump really far with those big back legs. Whereas these guys, they have big front legs to help them catch their prey. All right. And then we have, oh, here we go. Can you spot the insects? Let's see. All right, Nick. Can you tell me, is a bee an insect?
Yes.
Why is it an insect?
Because it has 6 legs and it has a thorax, an abdomen,
That's a hard word.
abdomen, and a head.
And a head, that's right. What about this guy right here? What's that?
It's a worm, and that
see the
is
worm?
not a insect.
It is not an insect. What about this guy? I'm pointing to this one right here, friends. What do you think that is?
That is a snail, and
Nope.
snails.
This guy.
That's a spider, and they are not insects.
And what about the snail now?
The snails are not insects because they have a shell and they don't have a exoskeleton.
That's correct. And they got a soft body here. They do have antenna, but do they have 6 legs?
I know they have no legs.
No legs. Nope. No legs. They have 1 foot, and then they kind of slither along the ground, so they're definitely not an insect. We got some others over here. Let's see if we can quiz you a little bit, Nick. What about this guy? See that guy?
That is a beetle.
A beetle. Is a beetle an insect?
Yes.
A beetle is an insect. We've
Ladybugs
done the
are
bee,
also
we've done the
beetles.
spider. Ooh, what about this guy, friends? Is that an insect?
No, that's a snake, and snakes have no legs.
No legs, that's correct. And we did the snail. Oh! What about Nemo? Is Nemo an insect?
No.
Definitely
He's
not.
a fish.
He's a fish. Let's see, we did the
Um,
ant. Ooh, this is the one insect I really don't like. I don't think he's very cool. What is that, friends? What is that?
That's a cockroach.
Yuck. Now these guys have been around for a very, 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 very long time. And they have
Big
definitely adapted to live in just about any environment in the world. Yuck.
Can they live in a volcano?
Can they live in a volcano? I would not be surprised. They seem to survive everything. Oh, what about this one?
A zebra. Zebras are not insects.
Definitely not an
They're
insect.
mammals.
We did the worm. Oh, what about this one?
That is not an insect. That's
No?
a cat.
That's a cat. What about this guy?
That's an insect.
Why is this an insect?
Because it has 6 legs, and it has a exoskeleton.
It has an exoskeleton. This, friends, is a housefly. You know what's really cool about flies? They got sticky pads on their feet. So they're kind of like Spider-Man if you think about it. And they can stick to the walls, and they can walk up the wall, or they can stick onto the ceiling. They're really cool. And then they have these huge eyes. Do you see their huge eyes right there? Those eyes help them see really well.
Can
we
they see
did-
during the night?
They can see during the night. So, and then what about this one? Last one.
That's a frog, and frogs are not.
They are definitely not insects.
Yeah.
Okay, and there was one thing I forgot to cover underneath. Where is it? Antenna. So if antenna are they're able to hear or smell, or what did they say? Sometimes they can smell and they can use them for feeling. Did you know that insects have 5 senses just like us? Do you guys remember what our 5 senses are? Do you know what they are?
Eyes,
So-
sight, hearing, smell, touch, and
With your tongue, you do.
taste.
Taste, 5 senses, taste. So insects have 5 senses as well, but they're just much more primitive, or not as developed, well developed as ours. So you see that? Okay, I think I have covered just about everything. Oh no, wait, there was one thing. Insects are cold-blooded. Do you guys remember what cold-blooded means? Do you remember?
Yeah, they can't heat their own blood like us. They have to count on the sun heating
To
their
warm
blood.
them up, that's right.
Yes.
So I think I have everything covered. And some insects are helpful for people, people and other plants and animals.
Like ladybugs, they keep away the flies.
Ladybugs eat lots and lots and lots of insects, so they're good for your gardens. And what about dragonflies? Are they good for us?
Yes.
Why are dragonflies good
They
for us?
also eat flies.
Yeah, they
Or
eat a lot
mosquitoes.
of
They eat
mosquitoes. So if you see dragonflies flying around, they're hunting. They're hunting for those mosquitoes. And then, you know what? These guys who I really don't like, they're still good for us. They collect our garbage and they help break it down. Any insects that are bad for us? Sometimes
Mosquitoes.
locusts. Mosquitoes are bad for us, and locusts are bad for us. Well, not bad, but they come in swarms and eat all the crops. So, all right, I hope we have given you enough information, and you can go outside and see if you can identify some own insects or bugs. But be careful, all right? Don't touch them. Just observe them. And we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye.